Good evening and welcome to Full Time Reds with me, Gav and Kev for the LFC Daytrippers. Liverpool 6, Leeds United 0 at Anfield tonight. Liverpool go within 3 points of Manchester City on the same amount of games played. Have gone far above them in goal difference, if my calculations are right. And everything we could have asked for from that game. You know, we done a show last night, previewing. I done a show today, looking at team predictions, score predictions, what way we'd like to see it go, how we'd like to approach the game. Everything we could have wanted, I think, from that game happened this evening. Leeds played their part in being absolutely appalling, in my opinion, but Liverpool had a job to do and done it. Absolutely done it. Dylan O'Rourke did tell you 6-0, fair fight, played to you. And I have to give a shout out, I think it's the Gar McDonald who on the show earlier said, Gav, I think he said Salah gets 2 and Matip definitely gets 1 after a mad run. And he's pulled me up in the Telegram group straight away tonight. So I have to give a shout out to him. But look, if you're watching, you're very, very welcome. Hit the like button if you can, or on the way out, or wherever you want. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share it across your social media, but most of all, put your comments in there. It is going to fly tonight, I can tell you that for nothing. So if you can, throw some comments in there and we will absolutely try to read out as many as possible. Kev, before we get into lineups and goals and domination for me in that game, I said it just there to you. I think you'll agree. Everything we could have wanted from that game occurred tonight.
Everything, and the performances of the players who came in were excellent. I mean, yeah, Leeds made it easy. I can't believe how empty the midfield was, but at the same time, we did everything right. Our press was brilliant. Finishing at times could have been better, but Christ, you scored 6, and it really could have been a lot more.
It could have been 10.
It could have, and that's not being,
that's not being flippant about it.
No, it's not, and that's been realistic. It was as good a performance as you could ask for ahead of a cup final against a rival. It was stunning performance. It really was. I expected a lot more from Leeds, but in fairness, they just weren't allowed. They had a good 5 minutes at the start of the game. It was a bit end to end, but once we got a grip of it, we never let the grip go. It was a fantastic performance tonight.
It really was. Johnny N 1964 says, marvellous. First game I could watch on my big TV. Always have to watch them on my iPhone. This is a Liverpool team of the ages. And Trevor Vela there is Jones very good tonight. Elliot to start Sunday and rip Chelsea and Newman. Trevor Vela just messaged me at the end of the game going, this team are a joke. Lineups. He goes with Alisson. He goes Matip and Van Dijk. A few of us could thought it would be Konate, but he goes with Matip. Yeah. Robertson, Trent, fine. Fabinho, Thiago. He puts Jones in, who hasn't been seen in probably the last 3 squads, and he does go Mane, Salah, Diaz, and you had to be surprised by Jones because nobody was picking him anywhere near that team.
I was, but it can be anyone. Once Thiago and Fabinho offer you the control that they offer you, it can be anyone in that role, whoever is fittest and showing their best in training. And Curtis, I thought, was brilliant. He was everywhere. He was so busy.
He grew into it. I thought he grew into it.
He did, but this is the perfect game for him because he can get the ball down and he can run at players. He can pass it off, make 1-2s, and he can take the ball and run into space. And the space was just there. It was unreal, and he was very good. You know, very disciplined and mature. He was mature in the way he grew into it and the way he finished the game. I thought he was very, very good. Could have been selfish towards the end and had a crack when he was through with the 1-2 with Mo, but did the right thing, played the better pass into the better area, and Mo just didn't finish it off. But yeah, I was really impressed with him. Surprised he got to start, obviously, but at the same time, delighted for him.
I hope I get this name right. Yella Strubantz says VVD now the record holder in the Premier League for successive unbeaten home games at 58.
Yeah.
Surpassing Lee Sharp.
Lee Sharp 57, they were saying in commentary, yeah.
6-0 all, says Ash Grace. Correct. It was 6-0 all. Took Jones a couple of minutes to warm up, but once he did, he was fantastic. Says you never walk alone, 97. Arsenal for Life says hello, we're a love heart. I think that may change as it goes on, because Arsenal for Life has a lovely time in this chat. Jones
he's happy at the Burnley result tonight, so he's all happy as well.
Spurs beaten by Burnley tonight in a game where they were expected to be on the front foot, and I think they struggled when they're asked to be in the ascendancy. But I think it showed again tonight.
Definitely.
Deserves a harder drink than water, says Gary Loughlin. Yeah, I'm on 7-Up tonight. Middle of the week. I'm struggling a bit. I'm tired. You're not. You're on cans of piss, to be honest with you.
It does the job. It's the last of what I got from the Christmas drink.
Emma Kavanagh says Tara took a while for Jones and Manny to settle into the game. Manny a little longer than Jones. Not sure Manny through the middle works. Gets 2. Was a bit.
I thought he was another one. As the game in the second half, he started coming deeper to get on the ball, and I thought it was fine. I was delighted for him because the space he left gave space to everyone else. I thought he was pretty good.
Yella Strubans says my name sounds amazing in English. I hope I've got it right. I think I have, but he let me know. Few mentions of Diaz that I want to get onto in a little bit as well. Origi contributing in just 10 minutes again too, says Richard Lefebvre. Yeah. Last time VVD lost at Anfield, he was playing for Southampton. 7-Up, Gav. It was just a 6, says Steve Lyons. Yeah, good one. They should have got 7 with a match with drink. But look, we get the first goal on 15 minutes. It's a penalty. Salah sticks it away, and if anything, Leeds wanted to come out and be solid for 20-25, and keep not, getting to these little markers in the game, 25-35 half time, and see how they are. But 15 minutes in, Kev, across from Robertson hits. Was it Dallas here?
Could have been. It was Ayling who brought him down.
No, that's for the other penalty.
Oh, that was the other one, was it?
Yeah, the first one.
Which one was this one then?
The first one that hits him in the hand.
Oh, yeah. The handball. Yeah, that was Dallas.
But 15 minutes in, Kev, and they're already staring down the barrel. Salah, very good penalty. Sticks it away, and as soon as I'm being honest with you, as soon as it goes in, I just went, that's the end of that. It's actually getting, and us as Liverpool fans do it with Man City. When they go 1-0 up in the first 10-15, you go, that's over. Forget about it.
That's over, yeah.
It was just, Leeds were trying, but you could just see...
They gave it a go.
Yeah, but Liverpool, for me, Kev, even in the first 15, we had got players who... Mane took a bit too much time on the ball, I felt. Jones was growing into it. The rest were all grand. But when you give us a chance like that, it's like, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Like,
Leeds had a bigger problem in the first half. I mean, gave away the penalties. They got players booked. Firpo got booked really early, and he was lucky.
And couldn't go near Salah for the rest for the duration.
He tried. About 5 minutes later, he was all over
he did.
it.
Yeah.
And that would have been, if he wasn't booked earlier, he would have been booked for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those. But that set down the kind of game that Mo was allowed to play then. And Ayling got booked for the second penalty, and that was game over, lights out, forget about it, 3-0. It was done.
And even at the end, you talk about Firpo, because Firpo looked out on his feet against United. So I was amazed he started tonight. But even at the end, there's a close up of him and Salah. I think it's probably only 4-0 at the time. He scored 2 very late on. But Salah is literally saying to Trent, who has the ball ready to throw, and he's nodding at him going, throw it, just throw it. Yeah. And he throws it, and Firpo is hanging out of Salah. And Salah just puts his arm out as if to go, would you ever fuck off away? and literally gets out with this, and I went, the fucking strength of this guy is incredible.
Yeah,
but he could have, at any stage during that, just stopped and went, listen, what's going on here? And it would have been a second bucket, but he was so hungry. So hungry.
Yeah, I thought Mo was excellent. All over the pitch tonight, we were really good.
Yeah, I think Ross B makes
over the pitch.
I think Ross B makes a great point here. Leeds were so naive, and I think that's spot on.
Night.
No patience, just running and running. Absolutely stoked with the 6-0. Is Ross Australian? Think we're 50 to 46 goal difference to Man City over to you, City. I think you're right. I think we go 4 clear.
It is.
Leeds looked shattered for the last 10 minutes. They really did. Just before the goal for Virgil, which we get onto it in a bit, Rafinha makes an interception. But how easy Liverpool just play 1-2 passes from a free kick, and they're in on goal nearly. And Rafinha makes an interception. You can turn him around. You can see him turn around going, this is a load of bollocks.
It was. I mean, Ross is dead, right? We said it last night when Joe was on. they're naive. They give up so many chances in games. And it's not just against Liverpool. That's a trait for Leeds all season. They're giving up 15, 20, 25 chances every game. And the way they're playing, with the amount of players they have available to them, they can't do what Bielsa wants them to do, and Bielsa won't change. So they're getting what they deserve. They're getting clapped out of it.
Yeah,
and it'll carry on until he changes.
And there's loads coming in here, and I want to read as many as we can, Kev, right? Because me and you have all the time in the world here tonight, right?
Absolutely.
But when we get to about an hour and a half, people will go, "Will you just piss off and get off the podcast?" And we want to go to bed. But Shawnee says squad hitting top gear at the exact right time. I fully agree. Sneaky start time. This says Jonathan. We have to go live. We go live 10 minutes after the full time whistle on the full time Reds. Momentum is huge, says Shawnee Lawson. So absolutely, you'll never walk alone. 97 said Leeds had 10 minutes in their legs and looked gassed after the first goal. I fully agree with you. 3 likes off 100. Let's get to 200. Said, did somebody say 6-0? That's is Red Steve. He changed his name, but at some stage we're on 111 likes now. So let's target 200 and see where we go from there. Tiernan McVeigh says, I've noticed half that Mo goes one way. Next time he goes the same side, he either lifts it higher in the net or lower. So it never keeps the keeper a chance. This is with regards to the penalties. You know, it was just great. And the first goal goes in, and like Kev, I'm saying to you, like, I think this is over. You know, I'm just looking at going, I can't see them getting back into it. And then we get a second. And the second is the most enjoyable. It's one of the most enjoyable moments in the season for me. I have to be honest with you. When you see him going along, running with the ball, and he just plays it outside, you're like, go on, keep going.
Yeah.
And Matip gets that goal that people have been crying for so long. And,
it was a fantastic finish as well.
It was a really good finish, wasn't it? But that really puts them to bed, Kev.
It does, yeah. That was it. I was, with the pace that Leeds had up front, I was a bit nervous about him making those kind of runs. I thought, if he gets nicked off here, we're leaving ourselves wide open at 1-0. But he doesn't get caught that often. I think he's only been caught in possession maybe once or twice this season. And that 1-2, it was so slow and so deliberate that it should never have been allowed to happen. But when it came off, it was the most enjoyable goal I've seen this season for so many different reasons. But I just fucking love Joe Matip anyway. But I was delighted for him because that goal's been coming for a long time. You know, he's been threatening those with those type of runs for a good while, and I was just delighted for him that it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it goes to 2-0, and you know, we're really happy. We're like, look, and it gives us that little cushion as well, you know, because there will be periods in the game where, you know, you can kind of come up, take the foot off the pedal a little bit, and someone might get a sniff of a chance or get one back, and then, you know, it's you're kind of going, we've been dominant, and we've let somebody in. But I think the second one just gives us that little bit of a cushion, and then we make it 3.
Yeah.
Again, Mane's pulled back by Ayling. Thiago's asking about a red card, but the referee's explaining that to him. Gives a pen, goes to VAR. It's confirmed as a pen, and then as somebody says there, just about the penalty, he goes the same way, but he lifts the ball higher, puts it right, and it's a really good penalty again. It's right in the corner. You know, it's a really, really good penalty.
Yeah, he had no chance. He had no chance with either of them. They were hit with good pace, and the second one was just outstanding penalty. And I mean, there was no question. It wasn't a red card, but in seasons gone by, it would have been. You know, because of the last man thing and all that. And I'm glad it wasn't, because I think they've got that rule just about right. You know, the double jeopardy rule, I think they've got about right. But it was definitely a pen. There was no arguing about it. He did catch him. It was just a case of, was it inside or outside the box? And it was just inside. So,
you
know, get to halftime 3-0. And in fairness, it could have been 5 or 6 at that stage. Diaz had a couple of good chances. And I think Curtis had a shot that was pretty tame. Mo had a chance as well, I think, in the first half. No, that came later. That one came later.
Yeah, like there was other chances.
But it was chances galore. It was just so, they were so naive. I think Ross was saying it earlier in the comments. it was. You wouldn't expect that level of defending from a Premier League club. It was so bad. If I was a Leeds fan tonight, I would be genuinely worried by what I'm seeing out
How
there because
how much of it is the style they play, Kev, and how much is it? Because we watch a bit of Leeds. You'd see a bit of them, and you know how they're getting on, and Joe spoke so well about them last
yeah,
night, and was so honest. Fabinho misses a sitter as well. Kevin Ball says he does. But how much is down to how they're being asked to play, or just how much is left in them, Kev? Because to me, they just look. I get what people are saying, like they just run and run and run. It's naivety. They don't seem to be able to sit off, get a shape, frustrate. But to do what they're trying to do, you need to be absolutely on it. And to me, they looked like even if Van Dijk played it to Matip and Matip stepped out of the fence, you could see the Leeds players needed, putting their head down while they're running because they know they need to put that extra bit of effort in. How much of it is down to just there's not much left in this.
I think Leeds have been playing the same game for 3 years, and they haven't adapted. They haven't changed, and it's the same. It's more or less the same core of players. That's their problem. It's the same core of players who are still there, still doing it. And you have to look at the likes of Calvin Phillips and Bamford. Is the injuries they're having and the fact that they're out for so long due to the workload that they've been asked to take on because of the style of play and the intensity that the manager wants to play at. His squad isn't big enough to play the way he wants to play, at the intensity he wants to play at. And when it's compromised, they don't know how to adapt to it. It isn't the players. I don't believe it's the players is the problem. It's definitely the manager. And yeah, he might be an innovator and he might be. So I just don't see it. I mean, I know Keith waxes lyrical about him and Joe is on the Bielsa train. I don't get it.
I do get it, but I think when I look at it and what he's asking, you have to remember, I think you look at the standard of player he has asking to do it, I think starts to come back and hurt him. There's a couple of players in that squad that have come up with him from the Championship. You've got some young players there. You've got some decent players there, but not a lot you would have heard of, in certain things. And Joe touched on it last night about, the owners probably didn't back him in January, but apparently he was offered a couple of players and said no to them. But they look like they're running on empty. They look like they're running on fumes. And that's why I was making the point to Joe last night. Any points they pick up is great, but I think the biggest thing for them is probably going to be the start of March when a couple of players start to come back, or that team tonight has to go out and play, but they're looking on the bench and say Cooper's on it or Bamford's on it, or where there's a couple where they're going, Jesus, look, there's something there for us. Whereas you can even see the subs coming on at the moment, and they don't look like they've massive energy either.
No, but then you look at the results tonight with Palace winning, Burnley winning.
Yeah.
And it's not just the loss, it's the manner of the loss. It was the manner of the loss against Manchester United when, Manchester United, for all of the talk that they're on a bit of a decent run at the minute of not losing, you get a game back to 2-2 at home, irrespective of the conditions, and then lose 4-2. Then go away and get tongue. And it was 6-0, very much on merit, could have been a lot more.
Yeah.
And then you're asking the same players.
It could have been 5 or 6 at half time. No problem.
Yeah. And you're asking the same players to get up and go again, knowing that the teams around you are picking up points. They're in dire straits at the minute. They're in real trouble.
Yeah, and like he makes a change at half time. He brings Dallas back in the midfield, and it kind of shored him up a little bit because Dallas will get his foot in. He's a good footballer. He can see things. He actually plays a really good ball towards Rafinha, and again, Virgil van Dijk just puts the afterburners on and just gets back. But I'm kind of looking, going, why haven't you got him in the midfield in the first place?
Yeah.
Why are you going putting? You've only made one kind of tactical change to get him in there. Why didn't you do it from the start? If you feel like, put someone right in the middle of the park that's going to work hard for you and going to get people going, and he's good on the ball, he can hold it, he can play it.
Well, that's what Joe was asking for last night. With Calvin Phillips not there,
Yeah, but he did
someone.
think that Dallas was going to go and play right back as
Yeah,
well, though.
yeah, but the one you want in midfield has to be able to do that. What Dallas is doing, what Dallas did in the second half, someone has to be able to do that for 90 minutes. And the kid, I think it was Forshaw, played in there, and you could tell he's well short of football, and what's that, Robbie? No, Kev, can you abbreviate it?
Oh yeah, he says, can you
Only
abbreviate
Man
it?
United.
Only Man United fans say Manchester United every time. Do you say Manchester United every time?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't know. There's so many Uniteds. It's just.
Match Machoya has his usual question, and he said, Gav, which Leeds player are you taking based on performance tonight, even for a squad player? None of them.
No.
None of them.
And I wouldn't be anywhere near Rafinha at 60 million, which is what Leeds are asking. I said a few weeks ago.
25 million if he goes down, though.
I said at the time, at 25, 30 million, I said a few weeks ago, at 25, 30 million, I'd be a buyer. But he's 26. I'd rather take that money and put it into Anthony, who's 19, who by the time Anthony is 23, will be a better player than what Rafinha is today.
Well, apparently the rumour is if they go down, it's 25 million he has as a release clause. Paul Gormley asks, did you see Klopp's fist pump at the end? I did. Klopp's proper smells blood and fancies his title. I love an angry Klopp. Last year hasn't left his memory. Yeah, that's part of it. They feel like they might be on a bit of a road to redemption off the back of last season. Even though they finished it really, really well, they want to put it right because, you have people going, the worst champions ever. And I'm like, would you ever fucking stop? That's ridiculous. But no, if they're absolutely up for it, I want to make this some sort of redemption story. I'm on board with it. Gav, never apologise. Most of my mates are Leeds fans. Last season I was told LFC are crap. End of. Injuries are no excuse. So fucking sod them. The sanctimonious. I won't say the last word if that's alright. But you get the idea. But Kev, it's 3-0 at half time, and I thought Leeds might literally make 3 changes at half time, and I hope for the best. But he doesn't, because he probably looking to see what legs they have on 65, 70. And, we're going to get into goals 4, 5 and 6 that come fairly late in the game. But before we do, can we talk about Luis Diaz? Because I thought an absolute breath of fresh air watching him tonight. He done something in the second half where the ball was thrown into him from Trent. Trent must have thrown about 25 yards into his chest. He took her on his chest, held off the centre-back, flicked the pass another player, then flicked the back around him, and then chopped the shoulder, and half the Leeds team ran over towards the Kenny Dalglish stand, and he just turned and ran into the box with it. But he just looks like a guy that has supreme confidence in what he's doing and has absolutely turned up as a £50 million player at Liverpool going, yeah, I am a £50 million player. I'm probably more. And I'm going to show you how. I thought he was... Look, he doesn't score. I don't think he gets an assist or anything. But I just thought he was a breath of fresh air. The confidence in him and just that different dynamic he brought. I thought he was excellent.
He just looks like he loves football. And he loves to play. And the players that are around him... Thiago will love him because he always wants the ball. And he's willing to commit players, go past players. But he's intelligent with his passing and his movement. He was people call him Suarez-esque, but I love how hungry he was to win the ball back. It wasn't the case when he lost it, the heads dropped or, the shoulders shrugged. There was nothing. He's, in any of the games that I've seen him in so far, it's never any of that. He just wants to get the ball, win it back, and go again. I thought he just looks like he's on the ball. You're almost automatically sitting up. What's he going to do? He's a brilliant breath of fresh air. Exactly what we needed, and delighted we went to get him early. Thank you very much, Tottenham Hotspur.
We're going to have a lot of fun with Diaz, says Mega Mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you will. But you can't knock his work rate either. And his physicality. He's like, we always say he's built like a noodle. He's bull strong. He is. He has that kind of just... There's a real toughness to him. And you can see you can see early in games fellas throwing a shoulder at him or barging him or throwing a tackle in, and then they realise maybe after the second time they try it that this guy's not going over easy.
Yeah.
You know,
Almost like a street footballer.
And he's not throwing himself on the ground. He's not rolling around. He's not doing anything like that. He's getting up and he's playing on. And I'd say that's already being bet into him. Do not show any weakness. Do not try yourself around. Get up off the ground and keep playing. Yeah. And that's how it will go. Emma Kavanagh says Diaz was ridiculous tonight. You see some players try similar things. Try and be the word. Diaz has every confidence in himself doing these things and pulling them off. He was fucking doing Cruyff turns in his own half, you know, nearly as the last man and stuff. It was just mad to watch. Like, so much confidence to go by a fella anywhere in the pitch. Anywhere.
It reminds me of someone they picked up off the street because he
looks a street footballer.
He does look, and you don't see that many of them in this era because it's normally been coached out of them. Coutinho was a street footballer because he grew up playing futsal, and maybe it's just a South American thing, and then maybe it's because of his background. I think in the next few months, we'll learn a lot more about Luis Diaz's background and where he came from and how he ended up coming to Porto. I think we'll understand him a lot more. But that's what he looks like to me, a pure street footballer who just loves to play. But he's got the intelligence to make the right runs and make the right passes at the right time. It's a great combination.
Casual Tyson says, where's Shawnee? Couldn't tell you. Wasn't due to be on this show tonight.
He's in the chat earlier.
He was in the chat earlier. He's probably sitting at home, wishing he wasn't off the drink.
Buzzing off his...
To be perfectly honest with you. We've gone past 200 likes, so I don't think we make 300, but sure, let's see what happens. Laszlo says Diaz and Robbo down the left, Trent and Salah down the right. Good luck dealing with that. Salah just looked absolutely on it again tonight.
Yeah, he did.
So quick, so strong. Nearly penetration and everything he done. Made some. He'll always have a throw him. Oh, he made the wrong decision here. He made the wrong decision there. But I thought overall he was really, really good. Mane's first goal starts with Diaz pressing the keeper like a madman. Yeah, look, we've spoken about Diaz. We make a 4, we make a 5, we make it 6, and you know, you look at the fourth goal. I'm trying to remember right. The ball Meslier is pressed. It gets kicked out. Henderson gets a good touching it to Salah. And the reverse ball from Salah
was brilliant, wasn't it?
Is people say there's disguise on it. Leeds weren't even in the same ground, the same stratosphere as to what was going on here, because Salah takes it, and when he turns on that left foot, Leeds are literally drawn towards him like, stop this fella, and he just puts it through. I think it ends up going through the legs of the player. And in fairness, Henderson is making that run beyond him. It's a really good ball, weighted ball. And Salah or Mane finished it off and 4-0. And I thought that puts a bit more of a fair reflection on it. 3 didn't for me. 4 just about probably put a better reflection on it. Not enough, but 4-0 seemed
4-0 looked
made a lot more sense than 3. It made a lot more sense than 3. Diaz had more touches in one dribble than Lukaku had in his whole last game. So very definitely, yeah. There you go. Let me see. Let me see. You've got a friend in me. That's a Toy Story reference, isn't it? Back in the 70s and 80s, I couldn't sleep because of the buzz from Bob Paisley's trophies. It's very much like that now. Yeah, there is. It's going to be insane. I'm telling you, it's going to be brilliant.
If you've been saying it all season, to be fair to you.
If we keep winning, it's going to just be absolutely brilliant. Mem Craig says Diaz has the tenacity of Suarez, the hold of play of Drogba, pace of Mane, the versatility in finishing like a number 9. He's the perfect player, and it's only the start from. Like he's only 4 appearances in, I think, but he just looks,
and a couple of them off the bench, I think.
Yeah, and he just looks like someone that he just looks like he's going to be a fantastic player for Liverpool. He really does. That's 4. Great to see Mane get a goal.
Brilliant timing of his run, because when I saw that ball go across from Henderson,
I thought he was offside.
Yeah, I thought, ooh, that's going to be tight. I was expecting VAR, but no, it was when you looked at it back, he held his run perfectly, and it was a lovely finish. And he deserved it. He absolutely deserved it.
Match Machoya says, I'm pregnant. That Diaz dribble is the father. I really like that. Dylan O'Rourke says Diaz reminds him a lot of Tevez, weirdly.
I wouldn't say Tevez, but I understand where you're coming from with the aggression on the ball. But Tevez was a proper 9. He was in between the penalty box. He came alive. Diaz looks like he just wants the ball everywhere in the pitch, and he doesn't care where he gets it.
Yeah,
he might line up on the left wing, but
do you notice as the game goes on, they'll get in his face for the first 10, 15, right? And then they lay off. And by the time it gets to 60, 70, they don't want that to do with him. They're quite happy with him taking the ball back to goal, just inside their half and going backwards. They're quite happy with that. They're kind of going, that's fine. But then what he's doing is he's copping that and going, well, I'll just take one touch and then I'm just going to turn inside and I'm going to face you. And then we'll see how we get on. They don't know what to be really doing. Shawnee Lawson is here. He says, I'm here, Gav.
Aspilicueta is going to have some interesting night's sleep over the next few days.
Yeah, but I think he's absolutely nailed on to start on Sunday.
Yeah, he has to be.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely nailed on. We make a 5. Divock Origi comes on for Luis Diaz.
Yeah.
We make a 5. Leeds again horrific on the ball, if I remember right. Robertson, I think it's Robertson plays the ball down the channel for Origi to chase, and Origi gets there before the keeper. Kind of Origi, the defender, the keeper kind of collide, falls to Mane. He's in the right place at the right time. Slots it in 5-0, and I thought 4 put a nice ring to it. 5 definitely did. But there again, Origi's coming on and he's making an impact.
He's making an impact. Great for his confidence.
Yeah, he's absolutely coming on and making an impact. And it's not like, oh, they're bringing on Origi, we can relax now. Origi comes on and Origi could have just strolled around after coming on, but he doesn't. Put it in the channel and I'll chase it. And that's exactly what he done. And Mane gets a second goal. And Leeds were all at sea at that stage, Kev. They just had nothing left in them. And it's hard enough. It's hard enough for any team to come to Anfield or host Liverpool when Liverpool have that much possession. And I'll give you the stats now in a minute. When you have that much possession, you might hold for 45, but then it really starts to hurt from probably 55 onwards, where Liverpool are just constantly playing, constantly moving, and it's not like it's side to side stuff and you can kind of shuffle across and do doggies. They're direct with what they're doing. They're zipping balls around. It's at speed.
And the threat is coming from both sides now. And if you think you're safe on the sides, you've Sadio through the middle.
Sorry, I think it was Milner put the ball through for Origi. I thought it was Robertson, but Milner could be absolutely, no problem with that. But yeah, they just were all out on their feet, weren't they? Like, nothing they could do. Just get the game over. Somebody please just fucking blow the whistle. That's what Leeds wanted.
Well, it was one of those at the end that, taxi, just get me out of here. And can't blame them because it's not easy playing the way they play it at the best of times. But when you're getting hockeyed off it and the way they were giving the ball away because our press was so good and we were so confident in it, Fabinho allowed everyone to press because they're not accurate in their passing anyway. Odds are one of the forward 3 or the midfield 2 is going to get it. If not, Fabinho will read it and pick you off. And if you think you're good enough to get over the top, then Van Dijk will run you down. How do you beat it? It must be an absolute nightmare when you've been at it for 89 minutes and they're not stopping. They just want to keep going and going and going. And we did. And we deserved what we got in the end. Absolutely deserved what we got in the end.
Shawnee Lawson can't believe Matip Gallop finally ended in a goal. It was so happy. Every Liverpool fan I could see online was just so fucking happy. I'm going to get to the last goal before we talk about BetMe and Féileacáin and man of the matches and stuff like that. 251 likes. 2 people don't like it. If you don't, leave a comment in afterwards and let us know what the problem is and we'll try to sort it out. It's 6 and it comes from originally us having a free kick and we just play one ball to the edge of the box, one ball into the box. Rafinha managed to get a touch on it. Looks, like I said earlier, looks absolutely fucked when he does it. Ball comes in, massive gaping hole at the front post or just beyond the front post, and there's Virgil absolutely slams a header at goal. Probably do a little bit better, but it makes a 6 and it's like, wow, that's really good for the goal difference. And again, it's another different player scoring. I think we've had 19 different scores in the Premier League this season. I think I read before we come on here. But it's great to see defenders getting in. Matip and Van Dijk both get goals tonight. That's huge, Kev.
It is massive. It is massive. But when you look at the ease, how Virgil got that run, Pascal Struijk was supposed to be marking him, and he was ages away. There was 2 or 3 players between him and Virgil.
Yeah,
you cannot give someone who's 6'4", as good in the air as he is on a good day, that much space and time, and he buried it. It was a brilliant cross. It was a lovely corner. And I asked Leeds last night when we were going to do the bet, or Joe last night, when we were looking to do the bet, mate, what are Leeds like at defending corners? And he said they were shocking. He was right. They were. It was absolutely brutal because that's the set piece. They set up the same way all the time. That's not a concentration.
Sorry, that's 17 players, 17 different players. I thought it was 19.
That's a tactical thing that, they just got wrong. Whether they switched off or couldn't be bothered or their heads were fried or whatever. But that was the last kick of the game, and that was it.
Tom Hart says Conte has said Spurs will assess his future. Fuck me. Chris Brack says, bet mate, devastated. We are 1 point short of winning some money tonight, weren't we?
1 point. We finished 1 point outside the money tonight.
1 point.
Absolutely sickened.
Yeah, absolutely 1 point. And look, what can you do? But we're getting closer. We were finishing 30th, we were finishing 20th. Now we're down to, I think we finished 6th tonight, 7th.
We finished. I think it was.
Did they play out about 8 players in that pot? Did they?
Yeah, I think they played out on 8, and we finished 9th out of it.
So 9th.
So 1 point, and I think we were 5 points off top. That's how close it was.
Yeah, it was.
We were 5
no,
points.
I think it ended up a little bit more than that because the last stuff was put in. I think. Sorry, we were 11 points off the very top. So top finished with 91 points. Then there was 86, 83, 82, 81, 81. That was the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 tied for 5th, and then we were 7th with 80 points.
Bastard.
Yeah, so we're 1 point off it. But look, it's absolutely.
There's a bit of crack all the same.
Yeah, and we're getting better at it. 17 different goal scorers for Liverpool this season. Emma Kavanagh pointed that out for me, but Stephen Bourne says good to see goals coming from everywhere, and that's absolutely.
Salah's figures are ridiculous now. He's had 19 league goals for the season, and he's joint top in assists with Trent.
Yeah,
we have the top. Chris was telling me before we came on, we have numbers 1, 2, 3 in the goal scoring charts, and the top 2 assisters in the league with Trent and Mo. Mo's on 29 goal contributions for the league alone, and we're still in mid-February.
Yeah,
frightening.
Yeah. And he's played 24 league games. I think he misses 2. We're away at the AFCON.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Wow.
So there you go. Conte be gone by Tuesday, reckons Dylan O'Rourke. Do you think Leeds will go down? Says Dylan O'Rourke. Not too sure. I'll have to have a proper look at the league table now in a minute. But we are 1 point off with BetMate. You can get involved in BetMate in the description, and you can get in there. You get a free pot once you sign up. And as I said, they're £1, £2, £3, £5. I think they cost. They vary, and you're playing against other humans. You're not playing against BetMate themselves. And look, if you do it, please gamble responsibly. All right. Man of the match. Will I get the stats up for you for this game?
I give it to Curtis Jones. I think he had the most dribbles. He had a great passing percentage. He was just busy and everywhere. For someone who was out of the limelight and out of the squad completely for the last few games, to come back in and put in the maturity of performance that he put in. Yeah, he didn't get any goals or assists or anything, but I just thought he was really, really good. I was really impressed with him. You can make a case for pretty much anyone, but I was really impressed with Curtis tonight.
I thought so. Just on the stats, 23 shots to 3. We had 581 passes to their 273. We had 15 shots on target to their 2. We had 16 shots from inside the box. XG was let me see. XG total was 4.5 for Liverpool. It was 0.15 for Leeds. Let me see. We had 253 passes in their half. They had 68. And other than that, there's all other stuff. We won more duels. We won more ground duels. We won more aerial duels. We done more. Dribbles. They had 3 yellow cards. We had 0. So man of the match. If you want to throw it in the chat, throw it in and see how we get on. 20 likes away from 300, says the reclaimer. If you get to that, he has to shut up, right? That's the real reclaimer. Picks a number, and after that, he just stops asking. So there you go. Carol Donovan says, stop acting the maggot and get the lads to 300. If you get there, you do. 2 people don't like it. They could be winding us up by doing that, and then they disappeared by the end. That could be one of those. But if you don't, as I said, we're all for feedback and stuff like that, and you can absolutely get in the comments afterwards and let us know if there is any issue. I really like Thiago.
Yeah, unsung. Won the most tackles, I think, tonight.
Yeah, I really, really liked Thiago.
Very good.
But I have to. I know it's an easy choice, but I have to give it to Mo Salah.
Yeah, he was very, very good.
Electric for me. Man of the match, Salah, just due to the threat, but Matip and Thiago will be close as Arch. Everton could be bottom 3 before they play City, says Glenn Parsons. I'll have a look at the table now in a minute. Salah's assist for Matip was something that match Machoya really liked. Man of the match, Mane, says Dazzler. He was actually rated on my app as man of the match as well. Man of the match, Matip, says Charlie the Red. Matip, says Martin Bourne. Mane, man of the match, says Johnny 1964. And Traffic Stop has Salah. Thiago or Salah. So there's loads coming in there.
And then you look at what Virgil did with Rafinha, the stuff that goes unnoticed. You know, he's such a colossus that having him in the form that he's in allows everything else to just flow that little bit easier. And it gives everyone else that bit of freedom to play how they want to play. Yeah. And he was excellent again, and got a goal. And to have the 2 centre backs scoring tonight, fantastic.
Look, there's loads in there for Matip, there's loads in there for Salah, there's a few for Thiago, there's a few for Mane, and that's what you want. You want to be having an absolute conversation about multiple players after every game as to who was man of the match, and once that keeps up, you know you're in a good place.
Yeah, exactly.
Fabinho wasn't real, says Kieran Doyle. He was. The only thing that marks him down is probably that miss when he should score. Main thing about Thiago tonight, he didn't foul in all his tackles. He finally is timing it like a 77A. That's a Dublin reference from Chris Golding. I like it. And he comes off on 65-ish.
Yeah. Gives Henderson comes on and just carries on.
Yeah.
Like the outside run for the assist for Sadio was typical of the kind of performance that he put in tonight. He was just really busy.
Yeah.
Tried a few flicks that just looked wrong, but other than that, he was really good, and no floaty crosses.
Yeah, no, and like that. Yeah, he does come on, Henderson, and he keeps the intensity up that we want. Gets involved, gets an assist, and absolutely fine. So look, Kev, before we get out of here, this is the chance we've been begging for, asking for. We wanted a chance to get within striking distance of City. We are now within striking distance of City. We're 3 points off them. We played them in about 5 games time, I think, in the league. 6 games time in the league. And it could be a title decider at the Etihad. It really could. But how excited are you with the form we're in, the players we have available, the goals we're scoring, and just the position we're in with 12 league games to go? How excited are you?
I think this is as strong as we've been ever going into this portion of the season. Title win aside, the season that we pushed City to within a point, we're stronger now. We're more experienced. We're definitely in with a shout, because City, for the first time this season, are going to be nervous. They're going into games now knowing that they can't afford any more mistakes. They can't afford to drop a single point from now until the end of the season, because we don't look like we will. And that's some position to be in.
I'm very excited, Kev.
Yeah.
Not only for the league, I'm very excited about everything. The more we stay in everything, the more excited I'm going to get. And I'm really, really excited. And there's still a lot of stuff coming out about Spurs. Manis Subaidi says Conte is about to quit Spurs. What is going on there?
I'd love to know, because
imagine Conte actually walks now. Now, I'm hoping this isn't just people saying that because they went to City and won and then they lose at Burnley. Something must have been, and somebody did say he was talking to, was it the BBC or something after the game, and mentioned something about assessing his future. I can get it up on the screen now in a minute. But that seems a bit of a weird one. There must be something behind this, if that's what people are saying. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's
the thing is with him, right? And you said when we just had a quick couple of minutes about tonight's result, Conte is very good against the likes of a Man City, because Man City will make the game.
That's what I'm saying.
When they have to go and try to dominate a game or try to go and win a game, they're not that hard to play. Yes, Owen Casey there, Conte said it to Matip that he needs to talk to the club. I think he's going to want to go to the board and ask for massive assurances that between now and the end of the season, he's going to be able to get a proper clear out and real funds. Otherwise, it's going to be Brand Conte and see ya. Because he's not going to be short of job offers, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him turning up at Old Trafford. Because Manchester United will back him, as opposed to Daniel Levy, who talks about backing him.
Yeah, it's Emma Kavanagh says, from the best group of players he's had to possibly walking away, surely has to be falling out with upstairs. But I'm just looking, just going back before, we might get a bit more on Conte before we finish up. Matterface tweeted from the conversation that you just had with Conte, he's very much suggested he's going to quit, says Owen Casey. So that's a bit mad, isn't it?
Wow.
You know?
But we always knew that he was temperamental. And he's got form for this, where when things aren't going the way he wants them to go, whether it be from the players or above his head, he's quite willing to just walk. And he's not a poor man. He's not staying in these jobs for money. So if he feels that he can't do anything with the squad, or the squad isn't playing the way, they're not taking in what he wants to do, he's banging his head against the brick wall, then I could legitimately see him go.
Conte said we need to find the best solution. I can't accept to keep losing. I'm sorry. Conte's comments over the last few weeks suggest he wants out.
Look, you can take that two ways. Yes, they got to find ways of winning games, and he can't accept losing. That's a fair throw at the players. Like, look, you've got to sort yourselves out. And you can take that without having to say Conte is saying I'm quitting. I wouldn't take those comments as saying I'm quitting.
Well, the full quote here from Kieran Doyle says, I need to talk to the club. Tottenham have to make an assessment about the club, about me. We need to find the best solution. I can't accept to keep losing. I'm sorry, it's just weird. But it didn't feel like a fit when he came in, because he turned him down not fucking 6 months before.
Yeah.
Jay Whelan has a cracker here. He says, just heard Tim Sherwood say he'd still take City over Liverpool because they don't rely on one player. As we sit there with the league's top 3 goal scorers and the top 3 players with assists, Tim Sherwood, would you fucking stop it? Who's he working for? Is he still working for BT?
Whoever will pay him.
Okay. That's an absolutely that's
some take.
Yeah.
I had Sky Sports News on, and there was a late winner tonight for Sheffield United as well, just to throw it in there before we go. The hologram scored a late winner, Ben Davies, in the 92nd minute.
Nice.
For Sheffield United.
I hope we have a boy back on him.
He's still our player. He's only there on loan, I think.
Is he? Yeah.
I think he's only there on loan, yeah.
There you go.
But
listen, we'll have to wait and see what's going on with Conte. But with regards to Liverpool, they've won 3-0 tonight. They've won 6-0 tonight.
6.
Do you know what? I keep thinking 3 in my head, because I was actually sitting there at 3-0, and one of the lads in the WhatsApp group said to me, we should probably put a few more goals on the board here to make this actually look fair. And that's why I have 3. And I was literally about to text and going, you're dead right. And the 4th went in. So it's, it was definitely 6-0. It's a huge win for Liverpool. It gets us within 3 points of Man City. They will play away at Everton at the weekend. And looking at that table, that win for Burnley tonight has really put the cat amongst the pigeons down there. It really, really has. Go and check out the Premier League table. It's getting very ropey down there for them. And Leeds have played more games than anyone, I think, at this stage now. And they're not far off it. But look, we couldn't have asked for more. It's a big win. No injuries. We rested a couple of players throughout the game when we needed to. Players got goals. Players got assists. And we look absolutely mustard, to be perfectly honest with you. All we can do now is bring that into the League Cup final against Chelsea. Let City and let Everton go and fight out whatever they're fighting out. And we'll take up the mantle again from the following weekend. That has been... anything else, sorry, Kev, before we go?
No. I said last night that tonight was all important. I didn't give a flying fuck about the League Cup. I do now.
Yeah,
definitely do now. We'll be going through it on Friday and probably Thursday or Friday night. But now that with the confidence that they're taking out of this game, the goals they've scored, the way that we're playing, it was more or less another stroll for Alisson. And I watched Chelsea last night, and Chelsea set off against Leo, gave them Chelsea had about 40% possession, scored 2 goals on the counter attack. It's going to be a different game. Wembley's a big pitch, and the likes of Diaz and Salah, they'll be relishing this. What a way for Luis Diaz to come to the club, get early silverware. Great. I'm delighted for it now.
Good. Chris Back says, I'll see you on Friday, Kev. It's all about the League Cup. Of course it is.
Absolutely all about the League Cup.
It's all about the League Cup now, Kev, ever the professional. But look, Féileacáin is our charity. Go and check them out in the description. You can check out their website and the donate page. And I know I'm saying this on every show, but I'm never going to stop until we get to 10k. You know how I work. So if you can donate, the link is in there. If you know someone that might be able to donate, send them the link. If you know people that want to know about Féileacáin, send them the link on their website. And share as much as you possibly can. The golf day is going to bring in a certain amount. It will edge us probably between 3,500 and 4,000, but that's only 40% of the way. And we have got March, April. We've about 3.5 months left to get this 10k. So please share it as much as you can. Donate if you can, and show any support in whatever way you can. Bet mate, we are so close tonight, but we'll have another go at the weekend, hopefully. That has been your full-time Reds. Liverpool 6, Leeds 0. Enjoy what's left of the rest of your night, and we will talk to you again tomorrow. Over and out.